16 wins, 21 losses. It's time to stop pretending this is just a rough patch or an early season stumble. If you follow the Toronto Blue Jays with even a little honesty, you can see this goes far beyond a team simply trying to find its rhythm. What we're watching right now is a team trying to survive. The loss to the Tampa Bay Rays wasn't an accident. It was a reflection of a roster that, at this moment, simply doesn't have enough depth to withstand the pressure of a league that punishes weakness. With the trade deadline approaching, the front office is facing a straightforward decision. Push all the chips in now, or accept that 2026 is already turning into a rebuilding year before the season even reaches a halfway point. And there's one detail that a lot of people don't want to confront: the rotation. Coming into the season, we believe the Blue Jays had one of the strongest rotations in the American League. On paper, it looked great, but baseball has a brutal way of tearing projections apart. Just look at the current situation. Max Scherzer, now 41 years old, is still battling forearm issues and hasn't been able to find consistency or rhythm. This isn't just about age. It's about how dependent the team became on him. And the problems don't stop there. Shane Bieber is out. Jose Barrios is out too. That's exactly the kind of scenario that destroys confidence inside a clubhouse. Right now, all the pressure has fallen on Kevin Gausman and Dylan Cease. They're carrying the rotation. Trey Yesovich, Patrick Corbin, and Eric Lauer were supposed to provide depth and support, not become the backbone of a team desperately trying to stay afloat. The math is simple. Without healthy arms, you don't win series. Without winning series, you don't reach October. And that's exactly why the name Freddy Peralta is starting to become impossible to ignore. But there's another important layer to this conversation. The reason Peralta's name is even being discussed comes directly from the Mets' situation. At 13 wins and 22 losses, New York is in even worse shape than Toronto. They're not just struggling, they're collapsing. And that changes the entire market dynamic. The Mets invested heavily to bring in Peralta during the offseason, hoping he would stabilize the team. Instead, the plan has completely failed. Now they're staring at a difficult crossroads. Does it really make sense for the Mets to keep Peralta through the end of the season only to watch him walk in free agency and receive nothing more than a compensatory draft pick? For that organization, it would be an administrative disaster. They need value back. They need young talent. And that's where the Toronto Blue Jays enter the picture with a major advantage: prospect capital, urgency, and desperation. In baseball trades, one team's desperation often becomes another team's opportunity. So what exactly would Freddy Peralta bring? We're not talking about a franchise savior or the next Cy Young winner. We're talking about stability. A pitcher with a 3.52 ERA and a 1.20 whip would be incredibly valuable in Toronto's current reality. And with 42 strikeouts already this season, he's proving he's not just eating innings, he's competing. He would instantly become the third reliable arm in this rotation, easing the burden on Gausman and Cease while turning what currently looks like a hospital ward into something functional. But the real value of this move might not even be in Peralta's numbers. It's in the flexibility he creates. Winning teams survive because they have options when things go wrong. Bringing in Peralta means Toronto wouldn't have to rush Barrios or Bieber back from injury. It means the team wouldn't have to overextend Scherzer if his form issues continue. And if Yesovich reaches the innings limit set by the medical staff, the organization wouldn't need to panic. Peralta would create a safety net for the season. Right now, Toronto is operating without one. One more injury or one extended slump could make everything collapse. More depth creates layers, and layers are what win playoff series. This isn't about having the best pitcher in baseball. It's about having answers when plans A, B, and C inevitably fail. And in baseball, they always fail eventually. Of course, there's a price attached to all of this. There always is. Giving up prospects for a player who could leave at the end of the year is an aggressive gamble. If the team doesn't turn things around and the trade fails to reignite the season, the front office will absolutely deserve criticism. No organization should sacrifice part of its future for a short-term rental unless it truly believes it can contend. But there's another side to that argument. What's the cost of wasting an entire season? What's the value of holding on to prospects who may never become impact players while the major league roster falls apart because it lacks one dependable arm? Stagnation is the worst enemy of a team built with expectations. And whether people like it or not, the Toronto Blue Jays were built to compete now. The payroll proves it. The roster proves it. Championship windows don't stay open forever. There's also an emotional side to the situation that many people ignore. The fan base is clearly losing patience. The mood online and inside the stadium is one of growing frustration. Fans don't want to hear about the process or development timelines. They want to see competitiveness. Bringing in a name like Freddy Peralta would send a clear message to both the clubhouse and the fan base. This team still believes it can fight. That goes beyond statistics. It's about ambition, confidence, and belief. But there's an uncomfortable question hanging over all of this. What if the rotation isn't the only problem? What if Peralta arrives, posts a 3.52 ERA, and the offense still can't score runs? That's a real possibility. Right now, the focus is on pitching because that's where the bleeding is most visible, but there may be deeper structural issues underneath the surface. A trade of this magnitude comes with immediate pressure. There's no adjustment period. Peralta would arrive expected to deliver from day one, and not every player can handle the expectations of an entire city desperate for wins. Some players thrive under that pressure, others disappear. But professional baseball is built on calculated risks. And if you're not willing to take those risks, you shouldn't be sitting in the general manager's chair. The Mets are heading toward a forced rebuild. They need to unload salary and acquire young talent for the future. Toronto, meanwhile, needs to win now. On paper, it feels like a perfect match. The problem is baseball is rarely played on paper. There's also the impact on Trey Yesovich. The young pitcher is getting the opportunity of a lifetime, handling meaningful innings at the highest level, but he's still going to experience growing pains. Bringing in Peralta would place an experienced veteran beside him, someone who understands pressure and knows how to survive in this league. That kind of presence matters. It stabilizes the environment and helps a patched-together rotation breathe. If the Blue Jays front office decides to pull the trigger, they can't hesitate. Half measures here would be a recipe for disaster. Either commit fully to the move and build around it, or don't start the conversation at all. This front office has a history of being cautious, sometimes too cautious. But at 16-21, caution no longer feels like wisdom. It feels like a failure to recognize reality. The calendar won't wait. Every loss now becomes a mountain you'll need to climb in August and September. What fans want is action. Not necessarily this exact trade, but clear acknowledgement that the situation is serious. The Toronto Blue Jays cannot become a franchise that settles for mediocrity. The fans are still showing up. The support is still there. But patience begins to run out when pitchers like Gausman and Cease are fighting without enough help around them. So here's the question for everyone following Jays Fan Report and refusing to buy into empty narratives. Is it worth sacrificing part of the future to try to save the season right now? Is Freddy Peralta the right gamble? Or is it smarter to hold on to the prospects, accept that 2026 may not be the year, and begin thinking about a deeper restructuring? There's no easy answer. And anyone pretending theirs probably isn't being honest with you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you were sitting in the front office today, would you trade the young talent to save the season? Or would you prioritize long-term security? The debate is open, and we'll keep covering every move without filters, because that's what real fans deserve. The truth, direct, and unfiltered. We'll see you in the next video. And stay alert, because if this trade happens, we'll be here to break down exactly what it changes on the field.